Okay, page 72 in your instruction book, your third grade mathematics instruction book. Let's go over this page together. It says rounding to the nearest 10. So we're still using our rounding. Now your book showed you a number line rounding, and we've got the roller coaster interactive notebook. And I have also showed you our strong and weak buddy rounding that we're using as well in our interactive math notebook. So this page is going to go of another way that you can use to help you round. It says read the problem below, then explore different ways to round to the nearest 10. So this is a problem about Allie. Allie records the time she spends doing homework. She rounds each time to the nearest 10 minutes. If Allie spends 37 minutes on her homework, how does she record this time? Picture it says. You can use a hundreds chart like you see below to help you round to the nearest 10. 37, and you'll see 37 is in blue. 37 is between the tens, 30 and 40. So 37 falls between 30 and 40, and they have those numbers written in red. Says solve it. Use what you know about rounding to help solve the problem. The halfway point between 30 and 40 is 35. 37 is greater than 35, so round 37 up to 40. Allie records the time as 40 minutes. Now I would like for us to look at this number 37 and use our roller coaster rounding on our number line. And I would also like us to look at 37 and use our buddy rounding, just as a way to check it. So we're rounding to our tens place, remember. So on a number line, you're going to start with the 10 that you see, which is our 30. And then you jump up to the next 10, which is our 40. Remember, 35 is going to be our peak because it's halfway between 30 and 40, just like that number the hundreds chart showed us. So 37 would go where on this roller coaster, on this number line? It would be about right here. So if I'm riding on my roller coaster and I have gone to this point, we're going to fall on down to the 40 side. So we know 37 is going to round to 40. Let's look at 37 with our buddies. We're rounding to the tens place, so we underline that. We're going to look at our buddy. Remember, our buddy always has our back. We have a 7. 7, of course, is a strong buddy because it's on that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 side. The strong buddy says, hey, buddy, I'm strong. I'm going to push you up. So he tells the 3 to push up to a 4. He says, all right, now I got to go. And he goes home. So again, it's going to round to that 40. Let's go ahead and go to page 73 as well. 73 is your connect page. This is where you're going to get to practice some of those skills on rounding that we saw. It says now you can round 3-digit numbers to the nearest 10. Try solving a problem like the one on the previous page. They want us to round 943 to the nearest 10. So let's work through that together. I'm going to go ahead and write that number on my paper, 943. It says the number 943 is between what two tens? So this is the roller coaster, remember. So down here we're going to decide, okay, what are the two numbers that I need to put on each end of my roller coaster? Since we're rounding to the nearest 10, how many tens do we have? We have 94 tens. So we're going to start our roller coaster at 940. If we go up 1, then that's going to turn to 95 tens. So the answer for number 2 is going to be those two numbers that you put on each end of your number line. So we're going to write for number 2, 940 and 950. Number 3 says, what number is halfway between? So what would be this highest point on my roller coaster? What's going to be right in the middle of 940 and 950. 945. So that would be my answer for number 3 because that's the halfway point. Number 4 says, is this number 943, is it going to be less than the halfway or is it going to be greater than the halfway? So let's see, where would we put 943? 940, 941, 942, 943, we go about here. Is 943 greater or less than 945? It would be less. We haven't even gotten to the 945 yet. So on number 4, we're going to say it's less than. Number 5 says, do you round it up or down? So is our roller coaster going to be able to get all the way over here, or is it going to fall back down? It's going to fall back down, absolutely. It hasn't got to the highest point, so it's going to drop back down. So for number 5, you're going to tell me that it's going to round down. Number 6 says, what is 943 rounded to the nearest 10? Now, even though you probably know the answer, I want to work it out with my buddies anyway, just to check it. So to the tens place, so we're a 4. My buddy is a 3. 3 is weak. So my buddy says, sorry, man, I can't push you up this time. I'm too weak. So he stays the same. 9's in front of the line. He says, I'm not going anywhere. And your buddy says, all right, see you later. And he goes home to that 0. So either way you look at it, we know that 943 is going to round to the 940. So number 6, you're going to put 940. That is what your rounded number would be to the nearest 10. Then number 7 wants you to explain how you got that. So that's what I want you to do on your own. In your own words, either using the buddies or the number line, explain how you get 943 rounded to 940. Let's look at your try it at the bottom. Try it says, use what you just learned about rounding to the nearest 10 to solve these problems. Show your work on a separate sheet of paper. So if you have room to do it over here in the scratch work on your side, I'm okay with the scratch work being there. Number 8 says, what is 106 rounded to the nearest 10? I want you to try that on your own, either rounding buddies or with the number line roller coaster. And number 9 says, round to the nearest 10. What is the number less than 180? So you've got to pick something smaller than 180. So that could be 179, 178, 177, 176, 155. I mean, anything that's smaller than 180. But when you round it to the tens place, I want it to round to 180. See what number you can find that would round to 180, but has to be less than 180. And what is the greater number that you can find? Something greater than 180. So that could be 181, 182, 183, 184, 185, 186, 187, so on. But we want it also to round to 180 when you round it to the tens place. So think about that one. That's a good testing question, number 9. I would really pay attention to that one. Okay, that completes your pages out of your instruction book. If you have questions about any pages from 70 to 73, please let me know. Don't forget, you've got your individual practice that you're going to do in your workbook, your math workbook. Okay.